Hey there, it's Vicky Marie. I am super excited to be participating in this Healthy Meals Challenge 2022.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do.
Now, I was really excited when I got to speak with my friend Barbara Jean. At Age is Just a Number, but she reached out and we got to talking about this idea that everybody's on a budget. The groceries are out of control. Now, her and I both want to try to eat healthy. I mean, she has her reasons, I have my reasons. We were both empty nesters, so we were both cooking for two now. And she had the idea to do a $30 food challenge. So the idea is you go to the grocery store, spend $30 on groceries, and then you see how many healthy meals that you can prepare with the $30. The $30 worth of groceries. And I gotta tell you, when she first told me this, I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna be tough. But of course, I was up for the challenge because I am really working on my own diet, cleaning up my diet. I've been doing this for a few years, but I always spend a lot more than $30 when I go to the grocery store. Now, each of us are defining healthy for ourselves. Now, we have two other ladies who have joined us. I'm so excited. Lori at Lori FNM Lifestyle is joining us, and Laura from Water Bucket Homestead. And so make sure you check out the playlist that I will have in my description today. Barbara Jean did create a playlist, and you can go over and watch that for lots of inspiration on what to shop for, how everybody's doing it their own way. We each have defined what healthy means for ourselves. Now I'm cooking for two, and each of the ladies they'll describe how many meals they're going to they're able to prepare, and how many people they're cooking for. Now I'm cooking for my husband and me. So when I was thinking about healthy, this is how I defined it for myself. I did work with a trainer, and she's a nutritional coach as well, and I continue to work with her, and she helps me to stay healthy. Now I did lose 30 pounds, and I've been able to maintain that for a few years now. And this is primarily how I eat at my basic level. And I took this down to the basics. Like the challenge is, how many meals can you prepare for $30? How many healthy meals? Now you get to say what that means for you. I am not a foodie. I'm not somebody who's going to cook gourmet meals. For me, it's like, let's just get the nutrients in my body, and then I'm going to eat me some Snicker bars or whatever too. But that's just how I eat. 80% of the time, I try to eat clean, as clean as I can, and 20% of the time, I eat whatever I want. Like, basically, that's my rule of thumb. Now, I do cook my own rice, I do cook my own beans and things like that, and I decided for this challenge that would probably be the best thing. Now, for this challenge, it's healthy meals. You can include breakfast, lunch, dinner. I did all dinner entrees. I just thought, I want to do all dinner entrees. John and I don't always eat breakfast together. He goes to work early in the morning, and we don't eat lunch together as often. So I went all entrees. And so you get to define how you want to do that. Now, some of the ladies might have breakfast and lunch. I don't know. I can't wait to see their videos to get some inspiration. But I did all dinners. And mainly serving, I'm going to count a meal for two people, but in most cases, it did serve three, and even like we had leftovers. So it was a ton of food. Now I'm going to just be upfront. Oh, and let me just say, you guys are invited to do this challenge. So if you are watching this and you want to take this on, go do it. Take $30, see how many groceries you can buy for $30, and prepare as many healthy meals as you can. That's the challenge. And you can watch the other ladies for inspiration and figure out how you want to put this together for yourself. Use that hashtag and let us know in the comments that you're participating. Barbara Jean is keeping up with that playlist, and she's adding to the playlist, and we would love to see you join. So even if it's a month down the road, I mean, just, if you want to jump in, jump in. I think we are all feeling the crunch. I know I am for sure. Being thrifty is like no longer it's not like it's almost mandatory right now with the way groceries are, that we've become thrifty. And I think I'm a pretty thrifty person, but this was a challenge. I'm gonna be upfront with you right away. I did not just spend $30 when I went. I spent $52.77. Now I cut down on that. A couple of those items were things I was not going to include in this challenge, and I knew I was. So that didn't count anyway. And this was tough. So I bought a few items when I brought home, and you'll see on this clip I'm going to show you guys. I show you my haul, and I show you the food I bought, and then I show you how I charged back some of it because I went over. I went over the $30, but I charged back some things and didn't use a few things. And now these are just the entrees, and I went with how I define healthy. I did work for a nutritionist for a while. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I am not a doctor. I have no qualifications to give you food advice on your diet. None whatsoever. I am the mother of 2 grown children, a husband. I have been feeding my family for years and years, and with the help of my nutritional coach, who has helped me with food plans, I have learned a lot about nutrition, but I'm not qualified to give you advice. I will say I focused on whole grains, whole foods as much as possible. I did throw in some canned goods. This is not the way that we eat all the time. I really wanted to just say, okay, if I had $30 to spend and I needed to feed my family, and it's important to get healthy nutritional food in our body. And when we're younger, when we're older, that's what builds that's the building blocks, right? That's the foundation of health, I believe. So I wanted to get healthy grains, whole foods as much as possible. And I did go with no red meat for this meal plan, but healthy, you get to define what that is. I'm on blood pressure medication. I had a goal to get off of it. I was able to, and then I ended up back on it. So that's really important. John and I are both watching cholesterol and all those good numbers. So I went with healthy grains, rice, beans, whole grain tortillas, whole pastas, like whole wheat pastas. And then I went with protein like ground turkey and chicken. That's what I went with, protein. We need our protein. And then I went with some fresh vegetables, but also I did buy a bag of mixed vegetables at the grocery store. I went with the cheapest possible. I had no food plan in mind. I actually went to the store. I tried to create a food plan. I had some ideas in my mind. But what I ended up doing was going to Walmart, and I looked for, first of all, what's on sale in the meat department? Where could I get the cheapest meat? And then I went to the whole grains section, and I looked at the pasta, and I looked at the rice and the beans, and I got the cheapest I could find. And then I went to I did go to canned goods, and I bought some canned tomatoes to make the base for my spaghetti. And yeah, that's what I did. And then I came home with those groceries, and I threw some meals together. I had no recipes in front of me because I've been cooking for 40 years. Like these are things I cook, like chicken Alfredo. I cook that all the time. I cook spaghetti all the time. Chipotle bowls a lot. Stuffed peppers once in a while. So you're going to see all of those on my meal plan. And so I'm going to show you guys these clips. I'm going to show you all the food prep. First, I'm going to take you to the end. I'm going to show you what I bought and how much it cost. Once I do that, in part 2 of this video, I will show you the meal, actually how I prepped it all. That way, if you don't want to watch that part, you can just watch the first half of this video and you can see the challenge itself, and then you can come back later if you're interested and you can watch how I actually food prepped everything. So that's what I'm going to do, because you might just be here to you want to see the results, and I want to honor your time, but I also wanted to show you how I prepared the food as well, because if you do come back and you want to see how I did that, I wanted to be upfront about that. Okay, so let's first pop over and we're going to look at what I bought, and we're going to look at what I made, the results. So here are my groceries, except for the meat is still in the fridge, so I'll get that in a minute. Here's what I bought for my grocery haul for my healthy meals under $30. So I bought some unsalted, and I bought Great Value brand and almost everything because it was the cheapest brand, and I've already explained why I chose certain foods, because I felt like, that's how I define what healthy is. Everyone's got their own way of looking at this, so I'm just sharing you my perspective. and this is how we eat, although I don't always buy these brands. But I do think, you know, if you are trying to save money and you still want to eat healthy, you can do it, and there's nothing wrong with some of these other store-bought or store brands or the Great Value brand. There's nothing wrong with those. You just do your own research, and this is what I've decided to do. Got my Halloween plates there because I gave Roscoe some food on a Halloween plate this morning. All right, so I have the Great Value unsalted chicken breast. That's 2 pounds, 32 ounce. That was, oh goodness, I can't read that. $1.68. $1.68. I bought some whole wheat tortillas, and these are the soft tortillas. And how many are in here? Yep, 10 in here. And those were $2.88. I bought some whole wheat penne, 1 pound of it. This was $1.43. I bought whole wheat spaghetti, a pound of this, for $1.43. I bought 2 onions. I bought 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes, and they are 14.5 ounces each, and they were $1.14 each. Bought some diced tomatoes that were that were 88 cents, quite a bit cheaper for diced tomatoes, and I went ahead and bought those because they are cheaper, and I'll mix them up. Okay, I'm not using that there. Okay, I also bought some tomato puree, and this is $1.36, and that's for 1 pound and 1 pound 13 ounces. Now I bought some classic Alfredo pasta sauce, Great Value. It says it's made with real cheese, and if you look at the macros, they're not terrible macros on this, and that's why I chose it, because we like chicken Alfredo. You can make this stuff on your own, but really, I mean, it does have 1% carbs, so 4 grams of total carbs. It has sodium, 15% sodium, a little bit high, but we are going pretty low sodium for most of our meals. And this is 4% fat, total fat. Not horrible. It has 1 gram of protein, but it's not horrible macros, and it's for 1 meal, and this is 1 pound, and this is $1.74. I also have 2 pounds of ground turkey in the fridge and 9 chicken thighs. Oh, did I show you? Oh, the big bag of long grain rice, and this is 2 pounds. That's a lot of rice for $1.48. So got the beans going, the bags of beans that I bought. So as you can see, I went over a little bit, and I took some liberties and just charged for what I used. So I wasn't quite, I guess overall I would say I did not quite meet the challenge, but I was pretty pleased with what I was able to buy. And I'll just go with, I can't count all of these meals for for under $30, but let's just go with most of them. But I'm still going to call this a win because I learned a lot. No, not so close to me. So John, what do you want for dinner?
I want some of that gabagoo you cooked the other night.
All right, guys. John's behind the camera making fun of me. This is all the food I cooked with the $30 challenge. Now I'll tell you guys in a minute, but here we go. I'm gonna pull it all out. I even had some leftover food.
Oh, look at that.
$30.
More?
There's more, John.
Oh my gosh.
There's more. These are for salad. I'm gonna do side salads with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the half of a mozzarella cheese still. And 4 more meals, John.
Oh my God.
Plus, these are just the leftover beans and rice that I didn't even make meals out of because I ran out of meat. So I still have all this black beans, all these red beans, all this brown rice. I will be freezing some of that.
Wow.
Now, I have, okay, this is spaghetti. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so high up there?
Okay.
Am I zoomed in or something?
No, it's just because the screen went off.
Oh, okay. So see, I have spaghetti. Now that's enough.
Oh, look at that.
That's kind of
That
stuck to
looks
my
good, too.
aluminum. But now this is spaghetti, and I'm gonna count that as one meal. There's just two of us. I guarantee you that's more than John and I will eat. So that's one meal for us. Here's another spaghetti, same thing. I'll show you guys, I'll give you a peek. Same thing, same amount. And then I have 2 Chipotle bowls, and I mean that's got tomato, rice, beans, chicken.
Look at that.
It'll look even better when it's heated. And there's 2 of those, and then I have chicken Alfredo. I have 2 chicken Alfredos, and oh, actually I have and red beans and rice and chicken thighs. That's a meal.
Wow.
And stuffed bell peppers.
Look at that.
And I just have to
Yummy.
heat them. Everything's cooked. I pre-cooked it. I just have to heat it up.
Make it.
Now, the food is really good, and I will say, I know it's not fancy, but if you are looking to feed a family on $30, you can do it. This made tons of food. We're gonna freeze some of that. You can add stuff to it. You can use whatever seasonings you want. I just took it down to the bare bones for this challenge, and I was really, really thrilled actually to see that I could pair that many meals. So yeah, we had like 8 meals, which I know will be more than 8 dinners for the 2 of us. And you know, you can add, I mean, you could serve those with broccoli. I mean, normally I might throw a bit of broccoli florets in there, things like that. So, you know, use your imagination. And if you decide to do this challenge, let us know. And I would love to see some more videos pop up. We all need ideas to save on our grocery bills right now. And I do try to stay healthy. I'm going to be 57 next month. So, yep, you know, I'm not getting any younger. And it's important for us to take care of ourselves. We've got to do that. And food and the way that we eat is one of the most important ways that we do that. Now, do go over and check out the other ladies. I know they're going to have some different types of videos. You know, some people are doing keto, some people are, I mean, we're all doing different things. And what I call healthy might not be healthy for you. You know, I'm not diabetic. I don't have underlying health conditions like that, other than just my blood pressure that I have to watch right now. So that's it for us. So do go over, watch the other ladies. Now, part 2 of this video, I'm gonna actually show you what I did. So it's gonna be a longer video, but it's there if you wanna watch it. Otherwise, feel free to go over and just see what everybody else is doing. And I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Let me know in the comments if you did. And if you're gonna try this, let us know so we can go over and watch your videos. Again, go over and watch the playlist down below. I wanna thank Barbara Jean at Age is Just a Number so much for challenging us all to do this. This was really, really fun. She's such an inspiration. And so Laura at Water Bucket Homestead and Lori at Lori F&M Lifestyle. They are both, all 3 of these ladies are wonderful. So go over and check their channels out. Hope you enjoyed this, and let's just be thrifty. And don't mind my messy kitchen in this next clip. Yes, things are going to get kind of messy. Remember, I am food prepping. Just don't pay attention to the mess. But you know, it did get quite messy. I did finally get it cleaned up. Stay tuned for a cleaning video coming up in a couple of days. I did get my kitchen back in order. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. So I've got my Instant Pot here, and I've taken the entire bag of black beans, and there are just a few little things in here. I just soaked them. I did not add any salt or anything. You can. That's one of the good things about doing the black beans yourself. You don't have to soak them, from what I understand, but it does help you to digest them easier, and that's why we soak them. I went ahead and soaked mine, and they've completely absorbed all of the water. So I'm going to dump these into my Instant Pot. I put them in a pot, but that was just as a container. There was no heat. I left them on the counter with just water, no seasoning. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of my Kinder's blend. Since this is a challenge, I'm really going to watch the kind of seasoning I use. I'm trying to be mindful of the $30 limit, but you can use whatever seasonings you want. If you have seasonings in your cupboards, you don't have to go buy any. but I'm going to use this. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit in here. The blenders, it's the Kinder's blend. It's got salt, pepper, and garlic powder, garlic. So that's what's in here. Okay, I'm going to add just a little water to cover it, and just cover it. I am using the Instant Pot, so I basically am going to pressure cook them, high pressure cook them, and so I'm not adding too much water. That's quite a bit, but I think the beans will absorb it, and if they don't, I'll have some juice left. So I pretty much just got the water just to cover it. I probably didn't even need quite that much, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and cover this now, make sure it's sealed, and I'm going to set this on high pressure for 30 minutes. I'll let it decompress on its own manually, and that'll give it a little extra time. There we go. So I'm gonna let those cook. All right, so these have been they're all ready. I cooked them. I let them just kind of do their their natural decompress. And there's a little water in there, but I'm just going to take up my fork and just kind of test them, make sure they're tender enough. Those are really good, and I have a pretty big pot of beans here. I can make several meals with that, so I'm going to put them in a container and cover them and put them in a fridge for now, and then I'm going to do the red beans. All right, so I've got the black beans over here now. Those are cooked and ready to, they're still hot. I'm gonna let them cool. But then I have my red beans here. I'm just gonna put them in my Instant Pot. They've soaked overnight, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it, about the same amount I did for the black beans. And you know, you guys can add whatever you want. I mean, I don't season a lot just because, you know, I'm on blood pressure medicine and I try to watch salt intake and stuff. But I'm keeping it simple, but everybody's got their own taste, and so no judgment here. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on high pressure for 30 minutes. So I have the red beans in here, and they're on 32 minutes post done. So they are completely decompressed, and I did let them decompress naturally. Perfect. There is a little bit of liquid in there, not much, but these beans are perfect. Let me just give them a little try. Those are good. So I'm going to take these and place them in a bowl and set aside. So I measured out the 2-pound bag of rice came out to be 5 cups of the rice. This is the long grain brown rice, just the great value. And so that is 5 cups of rice. And the recipe says to, in the Instant Pot, cook it on high pressure for about 15 minutes. And for 2 cups of rice, you go 2.5 cups of water. So what I've done, I'm kind of improvising. We'll see. Hopefully this works out. But I've measured out, and I did not clean my pot. I just got the beans out, and I just left it. It's going to add a little flavor to the rice. I'm doing all meal plan and doing a lot of beans and rice, and I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to just add a little bit of flavor. So I didn't even clean out the Instant Pot, just so you guys can see that, just for a little flavor. And now I'm going to, I've measured in here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's 6 cups of water. So 6 cups of water to 5 cups of brown rice. Hopefully this works out. If not, well, it's a lot of rice to waste, but we'll find out. So now I'm going to add my rice to this, but I will add a little bit of my blend here, my Kinder's blend, and we're going to shut this. And we're going to cook this on high pressure for, I'm going to go 20 minutes, maybe 22 minutes, since it's quite a bit more rice than my recipe, actually, that I usually do only 2 cups on high pressure. Make sure it's sealed. Okay, I'll bring you back in 22 minutes. We'll take a look. Well, it's going to be 22 minutes, and then I'm going to manually decompress. So now it took almost about 40 minutes. This is flashing on the screen here, but about 40 minutes to decompress manually. So it took a little while, 15 minutes to cook and another 40 to decompress, but I just let it go. Let's open it up and see how that rice turned out. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this looks perfect. I'm going to just taste it real quick. That is perfect. John's going to test the rice.
Wow, fluffy.
It's a lot of rice, too.
Oh, it is, yeah. Very good.
Now, what do you think of the beans? Because you've tasted the beans.
Everything's perfect.
Beans are good. Yeah, he's had several samples. I've got the beans sitting inside. Okay, so now we've got the rice cooked. We've got the beans cooked. I'm gonna cook the ground turkey all together in the Instant Pot. So now I'm going to cook 2 pounds of this Jennie-O ground turkey in my Instant Pot. And you can do this on the skillet. I'm just going to saute it in the Instant Pot and just cook it for a little while. But you can easily just cook up your ground beef, this is ground turkey, any way that you want. Just make sure that you cook it to the right temperature. I think it's 165 degrees is what you want to cook turkey to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So I'll make sure that that's done. Let's clear that. Saute. All right. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil in here, boy, I think I'm out of my olive oil. Now, if you are doing this on the skillet or in the Instant Pot on saute, you still need a little oil, which I did not really include. But, I'm using extra virgin olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I did not include that in my budget, just to be transparent. But I did put a little oil in here. I've set my Instant Pot on saute. I'm going to put my 2 pounds of ground turkey in there and brown it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of chopped onions first, and that was part of my meal plan. If you remember, 2 onions. So I added half of an onion, so about a quarter of an onion to a pound. And now I'm just going to get my ground turkey in there. Okay, here we go. Get all that meat in there. I'm working one-handed. And I'm just going to make sure that is cooked to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Internal temperature for the meat, and then I know it's done. Okay, I've drained the turkey. So there's 2 pounds of ground turkey all cooked up, and it's got some pretty big chunks of onion. But John, you like big chunks of onion, don't you?
I like onion.
He does. He likes onion. So that's cooked. Now I'm going to cook up my chicken. So I'm going to start off, and I'm going to I've plated them all. Now, if you want to rinse your chicken and pat it dry, you prepare it the way you want to. I know everybody kind of has their way, and I won't get into that because, well, this is just, I'm not a food expert. But needless to say, my chicken is, I've taken out of the package, I've gotten it ready, and I've got it on a plate. There are 9 chicken thighs here, and I'm going to put 6 of them in my Instant Pot. Now these are a pretty good size, actually, and normally I use chicken breast, but for this challenge I did go with the thighs, just trying to cut down the cost. And so, but these are pretty good size, you can see. I'm going to go ahead and leave 1, 2, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, I need 1 more. Okay, there we go. So this will be 2 meals that'll be cooked in the Instant Pot, and that'll be 1 meal for John and me. And that's plenty for us, I can tell you. And this is boneless, skinless, so this is all meat. Next, I'm going to take my unsalted chicken broth, and I'm going to pour a little bit in here with the chicken thighs, just a little. And my Kinder's blend. And normally, I have a lot of spices, but I'm just doing it this way for the benefit of this challenge, because I want you to see that you really can cook on a budget. It does not cost a lot. But if you're like me and you have lots of seasonings, you can add, basil, oregano. You can season this in the way that you would like to season it. So, but I wanted to pick something that was simple and inexpensive and kind of a general palate, not too spicy. All right. So I got that ready. I'm going to go ahead and cover this, seal it, and I'm going to cook that for probably, let's see, I'm going to do it on high. We're going to go manual, and honestly it only takes maybe 5-6 minutes to cook a chicken thigh. I have quite a few in there. I'm going to go ahead and cook this for 15 minutes. Probably too much, but I'm going to shred it, so it's not really going to matter. Maybe I'll go 15 minutes. Yeah, I think I'll go 15 minutes. But check you cook your chicken the way you want. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can bake the chicken. Just go ahead and bake it in the oven, but it will be drier that way. But if you have a favorite way that you like to bake it, go ahead, because we're just going to shred the chicken or dice it into pieces, however you want to do that. So we're going to go manual, and I'm going to go 15. I'll go 17 minutes. on high. Now here's where we're going off-road a bit. Now, I did not have paprika in my plan. It is a spice I keep in my cupboard, so I didn't include it in my grocery haul, but I'm going to add some paprika to this. I'm not measuring because I never measure, but I'm just sprinkling a little bit in. So go to your cupboard, see what you got. We need to spice this up a little bit, and the paprika will give it a nice glow to the skin. So I like to do paprika whenever I'm doing any kind of rub, for meat, or when I'm doing it in the air fryer. So if you don't have paprika, it's okay, and you can use oregano in this recipe as well. Use your imagination, use some Italian seasoning if you want. That works really well too, but I'm using paprika and my Kinder's blend. Now we want to preheat it. Now I've got it on 12 minutes, but that's not going to matter. I'm just going to preheat it right now. So I have it at 380 degrees. I'm just going to go ahead and preheat it for let's just go maybe just a few minutes. And I do have a 2-basket fryer, but I'm only going to use side basket 1 for this. So about 3 minutes, we're going to get this preheating. So now I have my seasonings here in the bowl, and I've got my thighs here. I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to coat this really well, just one by one. Now there's nothing fancy here. If you have extra ingredients, around the house, you can do whatever you want with this, but I'm just wanting to demonstrate what I can do with $30. So there. That's coated pretty well. I'm going to stick that in my air fryer and coat the other 2. And as you can see, I have some extra seasoning. So it was a bit of a waste, but I've got quite a bit of seasoning on these thighs. I'll do the 3rd one. Little piece there. There we go. And they're coated pretty nicely there. Got this little piece I'm going to go ahead and put in here. And now the trick is you want to use, now I do have Pam. I'm going to use, I normally would use the olive oil, Members Mark olive oil non-stick cooking spray. I also have the Pam original. You can use whichever one you want. I'm going to go ahead and just use the olive oil because I happen to have it. But use what you have on hand. I did not include this in my budget. If you don't have the spray, I would just say get a little bit of cooking oil and maybe get some on a paper towel, or probably on your hand, or brush it on here a little bit. But the spray works best, and this is what's going to make it crispy. You want to spray it after you season it. So now I've got those sprayed. I'm going to flip this over. Whoops, there we go. And I have made these before, but never with thighs. I've only made them with chicken breasts. But I suspect they will be just as good. Okay, and now I've already preheated this basket. We're going to go stick this back into the air fryer. I'm going to cook this for 15 minutes, and then I will flip them. So this is going to take a little while to cook, but we want them nice and crispy. So I've got them in here, and we're going to, get this going again. 15 minutes, and I want that at 380 degrees for 15 minutes, just the first basket. So I'll check back in with you in 15. Now I wanted to come back around and tell you guys I drained the turkey and I put the broth aside, and I wanted to just let you know that this really did not have a lot of fat. The broth I just put aside to use later because it's basically turkey broth, and I think it was mainly some of the chicken broth I had poured in, so there was no fat to it. It was very liquidy. So that's a good thing. And the turkey actually tastes really good. Now this smells amazing. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yum. Now I'm going to flip this over. I'm probably going to have to take my basket out. Okay, so now I'm going to flip these over. They smell amazing. I mean, this smells so good. And look how juicy that looks. Now, according to the recipe that I use and the way that I do it, I'm going to now cook it for about another 10 to 12 minutes. And because we want it nice and crispy. So let's put it back in for 12 more minutes at 380 degrees. I wish you could smell it. Oh. So now this is decompressed. Let me just move this over. And this is my chicken. Let me open this up. Look at that. Oh, smells amazing too. I'm gonna unplug that. Now I'm just gonna get my fork and I'm gonna shred this chicken up. It's a little easy. All right, so look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
John's excited.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our cooked chicken thighs, nice and breaded. They smell yummy, and we're gonna actually serve those with beans and rice. And I'll show you guys that meal. Now I'm gonna start putting my food together, and just to recap, I now have some black beans, red beans, rice, chicken, breaded chicken thighs, and then the chicken, and then the chicken thighs I just cooked in the air fryer, and I'm going to I'm going to be steaming some bell pepper. So I'm cutting these up. I'm going to get 3 of these. Actually, I think I'll do 3 of these bell peppers, and I'm going to steam them. I've got some water here on the stove, and this is my steamer pot. And I'm going to let this come to a boil. I'm going to put my 3 green peppers in there, get them nice and soft. I'm going to stuff them with some of the rice that I have, some of the turkey, the ground turkey, and some mixed vegetables that I have in a frozen bag, and some topped with shredded mozzarella cheese, which is that I bought, that I will shred for this dish. And I'll show you guys that dish in just a minute. Now I've got my little oversized bowl. It's a huge mug is what it is, but this is going to be perfect for me. I've got about 4 big tablespoons of ground turkey with onion in here. I'm now going to add some rice and some mixed vegetables. And the mixed vegetables are these that I bought from Walmart, and they were 88 cents for the bag, and I'm going to add those to the mix. So I am going to add a bit of Worcestershire sauce. I think a lot of people have this in their cupboard. It is a great value brand, so I'm not adding my condiments. We kind of agreed not to add condiments as our total, but I am trying not to go overboard. This does make it really, really good though. So I did add a little bit to it. I'm going to just chop them into pieces with the rest of this onion here. So now I'm back over here at my Instant Pot, and I'm going to add this big can of tomato paste to my Instant Pot. And I'm going to put a little water in here and get the rest of that out. Now I'm going to add these chopped onions and green peppers to that. That's about 2 cups in all of chopped, and some of the peppers are big. I'm leaving the chunks big. We like them that way. Let me give this a stir. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this Kinder's Blend again to this. And you can season this with Italian seasoning, with basil, oregano, rosemary, a little bit of even sage. I'm not going to do all that because I'm trying to stay under the budget here and just keep it as close to that as I can. But if you just, whatever you have on hand, just a combination of that. Italian seasoning is basically those that I just said: thyme, rosemary, oregano, basil, any of those. So I'm gonna cover this. You could saute the onions and bell peppers a little bit if you want, and then add them to your pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can just cook them on the stove, but you want to saute them on low for quite a while. That's what makes it really good. Is cooking it very slow for a long time. That's why I love my Instant Pot. I can cook it, I'm going to do high pressure for about 10 minutes. That's it. And I think this will be good. Now, so I've got my bell peppers over here cooking. And now I'm going to add a little bit of oil, just some oil here to my skillet. I've got that on just medium. Actually, let me turn it down a little bit. Medium high. And I'm going to add some onion to the skillet. Okay, so I've added some brown rice here. Kind of overcooked my onions a bit. Darn it. So I've got my brown rice added to that. I'm going to add about 4 scoops of, I should have gotten a different spoon, but we're going to add some of my ground turkey mixture to this. And red beans. Oops, that's a kind of a big old yucky skin of onion. Let's just get rid of that. I put a little bit of turkey in with the rice, but I added these chicken thighs to the top for a little extra protein. I've got the red beans, I've got the rice and the chicken, and that's a meal. I will serve that with a side salad of lettuce and tomato and cucumber. And you can use any cheese. I selected this. They had it this block for a pound of it for $3.98. I'm going to grade some of this. I could have used cheddar, or I would have rather had provolone, but I couldn't find any provolone cheese. So that's why I just went with this. I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to grade just a little bit to top my bell peppers. And there's 3 bell peppers, which is usually like, I will usually eat just 1, and John will eat 2, or I'll eat 1.5. We'll each have 1 and split the other. Now for meal number 3, I've added some rice with the turkey and the black beans, and I'm going to add some chopped tomato on top of that with some grated cheese. And then I have 4 tortillas here. So we can make 4 little rice bean and turkey burritos. If you have sour cream, I actually use plain yogurt, but it's also good with just chopped up tomato and some cheese. Now I still have this much rice. I have these beans and turkey left, and a bunch of red beans left. Here's my red beans. Now here it is after I've added some chopped onion and some diced tomato, and I did use half a can of diced tomato, and I added some grated cheese, mozzarella cheese, because that's what I had, but probably would even be better with maybe cheddar or Mexican style cheese, but I did mozzarella. I'm going to call this a very basic Chipotle bowl. Sorry, Chipotle. I know it's really not. I love Chipotle, but I'm on a budget here for this challenge, so that's what I'm calling it. Okay, next I'm going to cook up my pasta. So I'm boiling my pasta, my penne pasta. This is for the chicken Alfredo, and I'm going to let that cook. You just just cook your pasta and follow the directions on the pack.
Feeling better today?
So John's in the background talking to our son, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It's the sauce here. I'm going to add my turkey to it now, my ground turkey.
Stuff going on.
So I dumped the rest of the turkey that I had in here.
Yeah. Basically, I ordered like fried rice and then like 2 sushi rolls. So I had like 1 sushi roll and half. So now he wants to get the outside sales guys on commission. Maybe we can, discuss more like some kind of commission or bonus structure for the inside team.
Right.
How we want to do this.
Right. So I've cooked all of the whole wheat spaghetti, and I'm just going to add some Alfredo sauce to it, and I'm just using the jarred Alfredo sauce.
And what your skills, what you can do, and then we can talk about.
Because the commission I get, but then the other people kind of come in as inside. They're either.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep